Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is. We've got a full slate today. Today's gonna be fun, I think. So, how is everybody?
Awesome.
Good.
Yeah.
As good as can be.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we're trying some new stuff. So if you can't hear us, or you can't see us, or something doesn't work, let us know. Because I will be amazed if everybody can see and hear all three of us for the first time that we're using this. But we figured out a way to get Christos's audio in here to where it doesn't sound like he's 17 feet underground in a box. I still can't understand what he says, but that's okay. At least I can hear, and I can not understand it with clarity.
Is it all Greek to you?
It is all Greek to me.
It sounds clear to me.
There you go. That's my line for the day. I'm out.
It's all Scottish Greek to me. It just doesn't make any sense. But
yes.
And of course we have the one and only CL Dubois
Yes,
joining us
CL
today.
Dubois. I love that. Let me lift my pinky up.
I know I should have gotten. I needed a monocle and a top hat for today's show. So I'm pretty excited about today. I think it's gonna be a fun day, and being that it's Friday, I think we have news. We got all sorts of stuff. And Chris, is your shirt the death metal 80s metal band Microsoft logo? Is that what's on it? Oh, there it is.
Check this out.
Yeah, it's
Look
awesome.
at that.
Limited edition.
I love it. How did you get one of those?
That was a build conference, and somebody, I think one of the teams printed them out. I think it was the Azure App Service team that printed them out.
Nice.
And then they had it in very short supply. But since I was in marketing, and back then I was managing stock for all the other booths and what have you, we had a central location where we had to store everything. So I went in there and I started looking at where my boxes were, because there were boxes all over the place, and I found this. So I was like, I'll exchange you. So I took one of my t-shirts, put them in there, and then I took one of the limited editions, put it in my my bag.
Oh, so some poor attendee has like some smelly Reebok
exactly.
T-shirt that
No,
Christos wore to the
exactly.
gym.
No, that's not what I said. Do not take words out of my mouth. I took one of my stock t-shirts, which were about my Visual Studio for Mac, and then stuck in there, and then I got a Microsoft Azure t-shirt.
I just thought this was going to end with I actually stole this. I thought that was the best ending to this.
Hey, in marketing you can't steal. You know what? A lot of swag lost its value when I joined marketing because I could mass produce it. Nobody would say don't do stickers, or nobody would say don't do t-shirts, right? So it lost its appeal. So for about 2 years I was like, man, I'm not seeing swag anymore. But now I'm back at it, and I love it.
Oh, that's
you should
awesome.
see my new ones that are coming, limited edition. I'm not gonna give it away, so make sure you follow the show. So,
That means we got to keep watching.
yeah, man.
Yeah, that's right. So we've got, and so kind of on that topic, we have swag. We have bottles and cups and all sorts of stuff. In fact, because Christos complains about me not using my cup, I ordered a 3-liter carafe, an air pot, to sit
Say
here.
what?
It's like this tall, right? Like it's like 25 inches tall to sit here on my desk so I can refill my cup with water. So that'll be here. I'm sure that'll be here soon. And
This is the thing that I stole from the hospital where my kids were born. And
You stole it?
it isn't stealing when it costs that much to have a kid, right?
True.
Well, so
true.
that's the thing, right? Like, this is really for the moms. So really, I stole it from my kid's mom. But, it gets the job done. Look at all this water.
I know, it's huge.
Well, we should replace it with this one. That's a full liter 45. So
That's what we should do. We should replace that. Hint, hint.
well, I agree. You give me your beanie, I'll give you the thing. But I think what JP was going to say is that if you come to the show, if you are one of our esteemed guests, like CL Dubois today, or if you send us one of your stories about what you build with Azure AD and B2C, then you get a chance to. You're not entering a competition. I always love you get a chance to enter a competition to maybe win something. No, you actually get it. You send us a story, you get it.
Yeah, you send us a story, and what happens is Christos then sends you back 5 very very carefully chosen questions, and asks you to write 2 or 3 sentences like it's a senior paper, and then we'll send you some swag. I saw that yesterday. I was like, wait a minute. So,
well, I'm trying to provide structure. People was like, what do I write here? Like, what kind of story do you want? So for me, it's like, I'll give you the structure. You answer the questions. You get the swag. Easy peasy.
Okay,
Way
hang
to
on.
define your value.
We have prove the value for a $24.99 cup.
Not the value. It's the sentimental value that it has, not the actual material value.
That's right.
Baby.
That's right. 10 years from now, somebody's going to stumble over this video on YouTube, and they're going to be like, "Hey, wait a minute. That's why I got that awful shirt at that conference 10 years ago, because that guy stole it, and he took my good one." And then he's gonna send us a 4-paragraph essay as to why
He thinks he wants his shirt back.
Why he wants his shirt back. Okay, we have a question.
By the way, I have so many shirts, by the way, that my wife's like, "You're not going to any more conferences, and you're not bringing any more swag back, because I'm going to kill you." Because she buys me nice t-shirts, and I end up wearing these, which are, between developers, they have a lot more value. Nice polo t-shirts. Who needs these things?
No. We have a question.
If only they were doing
by the way.
socks and trousers, that would be awesome.
We have a question. We have a question from none other than Bolt.
Oh.
Bolt says, let's see, Bolt says, should he buy a 49-inch ultra-wide or 2 normal 4K screens? So I have a strong opinion on this, but I want to see what you two say first.
I did the 2 normal 4K. That's actually how I'm looking at y'all right now. I got the 2 screens. But
Okay.
I don't like the ultra-wide because I feel like 2 screens literally force me to do different things on each screen.
Mm-hmm.
Christos?
I have both. So the way
fancy.
that it is, so the way that it works right now is that I use my widescreen for productivity stuff when I have to do work and have documents side by side. So the ultra wide is brilliant for that. And then when I need to stream, I use the 4K monitor because it works. You can't share, even in meetings when you have to share your screen, the ultra wide just messes everything up. So I think depends on what you're gonna do, but from my perspective, I would say go with the 2 4K monitors, because if you are going to do streaming or if you want to do other stuff, then yes. If you're not going to do streaming, then the ultra wide works very well. That's not a consultancy response. It depends.
That's exactly right.
Well, so as speaking as someone who works with you every day, when you would share your ultra-wide monitor into a Teams meeting, it looked like you were broadcasting it with a toaster, and it was completely unreadable. So I'm glad that you decided to get with the times and get a normal, properly ratioed monitor. I started with 2 4K at home, and then I had 2 4K at the office. And of course, the office is just like it's an oxymoron now. So I brought it all home, and so now there are 4 of them sitting in front of me, which is kind of completely ridiculous. But although for streaming it is much easier because you got all this just stuff. You gotta have like this is open and that's open and this and that and whatever, and you can't put anything on the one in front of you because that's the one you're looking at to do work. And so and and then the other thing, a couple more things. We had two friends of the show, Mr. Vicious and Robertables, Mr. Robert Tables, come and they gave me sort of a crash course in how to make your stream suck less last week after the show, which I greatly appreciate. So now you'll notice there's no chat on the side because we got tired of seeing, bigfollowers.com written like Cam Newton writes his Instagram posts to try to get by the spam filters. And so those are gone, and now we have featured chat. So that's gonna be pretty cool. I'm excited about that. And
I love featured chat.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I'm excited about it. So thank you to Robert Tables and to Vicious for at least getting us on the right path. I think we'll end up with a whole lot more. Sort of improvements and enhancements and stuff.
Yes.
And then, too, I guess the only other things, come join the Discord. We'll get the link out there. And come join the Discord. And send us your stories. Well, you can just send an email with ACK in the in the body, and then Christos will send you back a list of questions that he'd like for you to answer. Kind of feels like when you're flying to a different country and you have to do a customs form. That's pretty much what Christos is going to do. He's going to make sure you're going to work for an insulated cup. So anyway, and then I also added some new things. So you can do Bang theme, and I think that'll work. Let's see. Yep, so you can do Bang theme, because we know everybody asks about the theme all the time. And then I think, if I ended up doing this correctly, I should be able to do this. And there it is. So now you've got all sorts of fun stuff. So anyway, so what are we going to do today? We're back to the Thrazman, right?
Yeah, I mean, long time no see.
When's the last time y'all worked on this?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks? It's been the longest 2 weeks of my life if that was only 2 weeks ago. There's no way it's only been 2 weeks.
It is 2020.
That's true. What is it?
Time is fleeting.
March
Right.
278th or something like that?
Exactly.
265th.
Yeah.
Don't ask me why I know that.
Well, I have a captain's log here sitting on my desk. Captain's log, stardate March 265th.
We have news, right? So we'll start with the news, and then we're going to go back to Thrazman and add some Twilio goodness.
Oh, right, okay,
Applications. So let's get cracking with the news. Let me share my screen, and that's my 4K for the people that maybe.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. I'm fairly certain I have nearly zero idea about how to share your screen. So I'm gonna try, but I have no confidence. Well, no.
I see his screen and where his face was.
Yeah, it's gonna.
My God!
It's gonna replace your face, but that's okay. That's okay. People can see it at least, so we'll put it back in a minute. We'll put your face back when your face is ready, or we'll just leave your face full size.
Yeah, it's fine. It's the voice of God now talking, announcing the news. Hey, let's start with the new Azure Monitor for B2C. So now, if you are using B2C, we have a way for you to monitor it properly via the Azure Monitor, which was not available before. Nice. So great news for IT admins and people that need to monitor usage and secure it as well. So there you have it. Next one is a blog post about configuring your Azure AD application with integration assistance. And this one is a great blog post as well. It allows you to
integration assistant. It's one of my favorite new things. It's
we haven't talked about these things, but the idea there is that if you configure an Azure AD app and then you say, you know what, it's going to do an API call to something else, the integration assistant will actually check your application. Maybe we should show it live at one day, but cool. It actually shows the settings that you have, and you might have missed the permission somewhere, or you might have screwed up the API permission somewhere else, or the redirect URI or what have you. So it will tell you. In fact, these two things up there, I'm not going to zoom in, but actually, if you look at the Quick Start and Integration Assistant, these are probably the two menu items least used by most of the developers, and they hide a lot of goodness over there. So if you get a chance, you can run it quickly. Maybe the next time that we do an app registration, we can show that as well. Next one is a nice YouTube by OWASP Dev Slope. And it talks about how you can start hacking JWTs and why you need to secure them and why it's important to do it right. So this is, I don't know why it's green, by the way. There you go. By Nancy. So spend some time, look at that. So it's about an hour, but I think it's a worthy time to spend if you want to know about JWTs and go a little bit in depth. So that's a great one. And this morning I got pinged by our friend Damien Bod. He blogged yet another post about using Microsoft Graph in the ASP.NET Core. Nice. Let's say ASP.NET 5 now, because it's not ASP.NET Core anymore. But if you're using ASP.NET Core 3.1 or ASP.NET 5, the new Microsoft Identity Web makes your life a lot easier. So you'll notice here there's a way to actually add the Microsoft Identity Web graph package, right? And then that allows you to inject the graph client into your code. And you'll see here that you can actually spin up a graph service client injected into your controllers or your services. and as long as you pass AI token acquisition, it will handle the token management for you, so you don't have to explicitly add the headers, you don't have to go and grab the tokens at real time, so it's a lot easier if you love SDKs, because we have split opinions in the team about SDK usage.
Everyone does, I think, at every
everyone
company.
does. And maybe I don't want to steal JP's thunder on his news, so I will let him take over while I stop sharing my screen and I turn back to normal viewership.
Let's
Chat's
see.
asking for that link too.
Yeah, we need this link. Can you
I
put the
will.
link in the chat?
For just this one?
Well, for all of them, but this one in
Well,
particular. Yeah.
I will do them, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me add them one at a time.
Yeah, the downstream API stuff and the graph, like getting a configured graph client that you don't have to configure yourself is pretty
That's lovely.
cool. Yeah.
Wait a minute, how do I stop sharing my screen? It says share, application window. How do I stop sharing?
I think there's a button. There should be a button somewhere.
There's a share screen button, but there's no unshare.
I think-
is there maybe...
I think at the bottom of your screen somewhere, or maybe whatever tab.
Interesting. I
Yeah.
will work it out. Let's move on. I don't want to.
So you're just-
people.
So I guess we'll make you a small blog post in the corner now.
That's exactly right.
I love it.
Okay. So now you're
The blog speaks.
back to being a small speaking blog post in the corner. So what we said earlier about a super professional show, we're sort of there. We're almost there. As soon as Christos figures out how to unshare his screen, you'll see his face again, right?
You know what? I'm going to Google that because I can't find it.
Or you just put like a screenshot of his face right in the corner.
Just
Like
open
we're on a Zoom
just
meeting.
just open the
That's exactly
camera. Just open the camera app and make it full screen.
You guys are awful. Come on, man.
Okay, so I've got two pieces of news. In fact, let me get my browser up here. We're going to take a look at it. So about a month ago, we did a show, and we mentioned this on Wednesday's After Dark episode, but
I knew he was going to say that.
I just
Go
saw
on.
that.
So I don't even want to click restore because Lord only knows what those closed pages were. But about a month ago, we did a show all about some UX improvements in the portal, particularly for app roles, because app roles are one of the things that have a ton of value, but are for some reason completely and totally. Just a total pain to deal with. Robertable says, just bring up your LinkedIn profile and zoom in.
I see him logging
That's
in.
what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Just give me a second. God damn, man. What happened here?
So from an app registration in Azure AD, and this is the Azure AD admin portal, but there's also you can get to this through the normal Azure AD portal too. You'll notice that App Roles Preview is back because we did a show. And I think it was within like half an hour of the show
Man,
ending.
that was embarrassing.
Yeah, it was within like half an hour of the show ending. The feature got pulled because there were a couple issues with it, and so we had a bunch of people pinging us saying, "Hey, that was really cool. How did you do that?" We're like, "Well, just go to the portal. What are you talking about?" You know, and found out that of course it had been pulled. So instead of having to go to the manifest and copy in a bunch of completely esoteric, specific JSON and go generate new GUIDs and do all that sort of stuff. Instead, you can go to app roles, create a new app role. Sure, I'll use writers because it's there. Users, apps, or both. We'll do users, and we can call this, data.write. And now, let's see.
So cool.
Data writers can write data.
I should get out the way.
Do you want to?
Just,
We can enable it.
Hiding the button.
No, that's okay. And now we have an app role we can go and assign users to. And in fact, if we look at the manifest, we should see instead of you having to hand roll this JSON, this artisan JSON, instead it's just generated for you, which is super nice. So that's back. Still in preview, but it's back. So go out, give it a shot. If it doesn't work or you have issues with it, ping us on Twitter and let us know, and we'll let them know that they should fix it without taking it down again.
I just gotta tell you, I am totally going to take advantage of all of the things I've seen today for Azure AD in an app that I'm working on right now
Awesome.
that uses Azure AD and LinkedIn.
Love it. Speaking of LinkedIn, Christos, have you found your profile picture yet?
Oh, did somebody mess my profile picture?
No, that's what we were. That's how we could see you. We were hoping you were going to zoom in on
Oh, I see. Okay, give me a second.
it. So
I'll
anyway,
give you my profile picture.
there is a there should be a stop button. It'll say like OBS Ninja is streaming your screen or sharing your screen, and there should be a stop button, maybe even in your browser. So, you're posting links in LinkedIn. Everybody's watching you post links on LinkedIn.
Hey, I got like 50 notifications. I don't know, and 11 people that tried to follow me. Oh, there you go. Accept.
Time
Let's
to
be live.
accept.
Like, this is what this is all about.
Yeah, don't share your screen with anybody. Anyway,
Share your screen.
don't share any of your secrets. Anyway, so today we have Mr. W here. Mr. Dubois.
Yeah,
here
happy to be here.
to help
Should have
us.
put on a tie.
I thought about getting like a tuxedo shirt because
Me too. You got to
But-
be, proper for Mr. Dubois.
yeah, and a monocle and a top hat. That's what we needed, but I can't find mine. I don't know where I put them. So we need a. So our Thrazman project, if you haven't been with us for it, we have been. It's a tool for going and blowing away Azure resources after a set period of time. So I'm going to go over to the Azure portal, and it's a set of functions that do a couple things. Primarily, they tag my resources with certain dates and with other sort of metadata about them. And then it also tags, or it also goes back and deletes them later on, and does a few things on delete, like saves a. I wonder what's wrong with my audio. Oh, good, you're back. You made it.
I had to reload OBS Ninja. There you go. Leave the meeting and come back.
Everybody says they're telling me my audio is awful, so I don't know what's wrong with it. I hope it.
Oh no.
Has it been bad the whole time?
You sound super clear here, so.
Yeah, same here.
I don't know. I wonder if I should not use the same mic for both the room you can hear me in and the stream. Maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe it's
that's
like,
part of the problem. Hey, bear with us while we're trying to figure this out.
yeah, I'm gonna switch my microphone for a second. Can you guys still hear me? You too?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, okay. See, now I can't hear you though. That's my only problem.
Oh no.
that's
You can't
not-
hear
Okay,
us.
we'll try this one more time.
Okay.
Roberto says he thinks
I think it's okay.
See,
Yeah.
now I can't hear you guys at all. So that's not
Oh
gonna be good.
no, man.
Time to
So
go back.
I will figure out why it is not working, and we'll get it sorted out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Finding the links to the.
Okay. So anyway, so we had this. So we've been building a tool. That tool is going to go tag our resources with expiration dates, and then once that date comes, we're going to go delete the resource. We're going to save the resource group template so we can try to recreate it later on if we needed to. And you'll notice a lot of these are from 11/20, which is today. So these are probably going to get deleted at some point today. So I should probably change those dates because one of the things that's going to get deleted today is Azman itself. And as I saw late last year, it ate itself and deleted itself and has no qualms about doing that. So I should probably fix some of these dates while we're out here. So the clock is ticking. I don't know when it's going to run again. I don't know when it's going to delete it.
Heaven help us.
So, anyway, to prevent just exactly this from happening, that's a good point. Maybe we haven't implemented deletion yet. I think maybe we haven't done it, which is probably a good thing. Oh, yeah. So all we've done is persisted it. You'll notice our deletion is empty. So, okay, good. But anyway, one of the things would be nice to have would be to notify us to say, hey, I'm going to delete these resources in X number of days, in 3 days, and 7 days, whatever.
Yeah.
And it could be email or Discord or Slack or whatever. But of course, everybody lives on their phones. I know at least I do, and lives and dies by text messaging and everything else. So we thought it'd be cool to have some way to figure out how do we send some texts and say that some stuff's happening.
I love it. There's like 5 ways to send a text message, I think, with Twilio. But this is going to make this super easy, so I'm excited. We can do this really easily.
All right, cool. And if there are other alternatives, because here's the other, I guess, the wrench I wanted to throw was, not only do we want to send a message to say, hey, we're going to delete some resources, but it'd be kind of cool to be able to say, no, don't. give me an extra. I need just a few more days, man. You got to understand. Just don't delete it today, and I'll pay you on Tuesday. Like that kind of thing.
So like you reply back, and something happens.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So there's a couple ways to handle this.
All right.
And now you've just removed 2 of the ways that we could send a text message. So that's good.
All right.
So let me just start from the basics.
Okay.
Do folks know what Twilio is?
That's a good question.
It's a good point.
Good question. Let's go through a quick tour of Twilio.
Yeah, so at Twilio we build a set of APIs and services so people can communicate, right? Like send text messages or do video calls or phone calls. I found out that one of our products is slowly being retired, unfortunately. It's our fax product.
The fax product?
Fax?
Yeah.
In 2020?
Yeah, I know, right? Email is still there, video's there. What else can you do with Twilio? Omni-channel things. So if you want to send a message to like just a service and it just sends stuff out to a bunch of channels, we can do that. We got bots. We got a bunch of stuff. If you hit the products page on there, I'm going to show you the 2 ones that I think are most interesting.
Okay.
Oh, okay, I'm going to show you the one that I think is most interesting, which is messaging. No, actually, there's 2, because I don't know why they still have Twilio API for WhatsApp down there. But there's messaging, which hits like SMS, WhatsApp, and chat. And then there's like SendGrid, so you can do email.
Oh, so we can do both.
Yeah, right. So there's like a couple different ways we can do this. SMS is obviously the easiest way. Let's click on messaging real quick because you said you want to be able to respond back.
Yeah.
So we can do that in a couple different ways. First is like we can just build the plumbing to send and receive text messages. That's easy. The second is
someone is asking, do you have smoke signals as a service?
Someone asked us actually if we did pigeon carriers as well. So, I mean, I'm just saying, there are options. You never know.
True.
Our CEO likes to say, "Why isn't that an API?" So I'm going to take that back to him.
Yeah, why is it not an API, Corey?
Yeah, that would be actually. I mean, we could probably make that API. I mean, we just need some...
we're gonna build a smoke signal API. I love this.
You know what we'll do? Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put a bunch of. I'm gonna put Kubernetes on a bunch of Raspberry Pis, and I'm gonna just put them out in the sun, and then I'm just gonna try to deploy anything to them. And then we just need like a door so that we can let the smoke come out as they're all burning and on fire. And we'll make another Raspberry Pi that isn't running Kubernetes as the controller for the door. So I think we're onto something here.
Here we go.
Just run Google Chrome on the Pi. That's probably a lot more efficient in terms of getting it burning faster.
But yeah, so we can do this a couple of different ways. If you only want it to be text, we can do the SMS approach. If you want like text plus maybe WhatsApp plus maybe...
GIFs. Can we send GIFs?
Oh, you can totally do that. That's fun too. That's easy.
Send a GIF to your Thrazman service and let it decode it. So that's what you're saying.
Well, we could
totally do that.
I mean, we could definitely send GIFs, right? Like explosions of increasing chaos the closer you are to deletion date, right? Kind of as a warning. And so what kind of channels do we have? So there's SMS, there's MMS, there's WhatsApp. Are there any others
Facebook Messenger?
Okay.
What's called chat. So if you want to send it to a chat-based app, like you're building your own chat interface on your website, you can do that too. So again, it just depends on what y'all want to do. If you only want to do SMS, we could do SMS. That's easy. I mean, that's easy to start with.
I quit using. I quit using.
This is fine.
I quit using WhatsApp, so I don't have a WhatsApp account. I have.
Yeah, nor Facebook either.
Okay, good. So we'll just do SMS.
Okay, let's just do SMS. Word up. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let me ask the other question that gets interesting here. Who's going to receive these text messages? Is it just like U.S. based folk, or is it some folks around the world?
You know, it could be.
It's a global service, right?
It could be around the world. I mean, anybody's happy to. It could. Yeah, I'd love for anybody to run this code and use it on their own. So yeah, I could definitely see. It being more than just U.S. I mean, I'm U.S. and as it sits now, I can barely make it out of my basement, much less onto a plane. So I don't think I'll be going anywhere anytime soon. But I mean, being able to support that would be cool.
So here's what we can do. We'll set it up so we can send an SMS, send and receive an SMS from a US based number. And then we're going to make a couple of changes in the Twilio console so that we can add additional numbers for other countries.
All right.
And that's going to be super easy. And I think it's a basic change in the code, so it shouldn't be too hard. And yes, you have 2FA turned on. Good job.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't get away with not having it on, right?
I mean, you could try.
We're out here telling everybody you have to use it, and then we don't use it. I'm sure I'd get absolutely just destroyed. So
There's an opinion.
All right.
So first things first, let's go buy a phone number.
Okay.
On the left, you've actually already got the hashtag or the pound symbol as I know it to be. Go ahead, hit that, and we'll go buy us a phone number.
All right, let's get a phone number.
Hashtag businesses.
All right. So let's say what, buy a number. All right. So I'll buy a number, and we can search for fun stuff. How about Thrazman?
Oh, I love that. You want it to be the first part or the last part of the number?
Oh,
like 425 blank blank like Thrazman.
Now that'd be cool. That would be super cool. So what do I do? You gotta put like a star at the beginning, maybe, or
no? Go back one page.
Okay.
And our friend Robert Table says that you'll be blown away by the fact that you can buy phone numbers using an API.
Oh, that's awesome.
Can I do that with T-Mobile so I don't have to walk into a store ever again? Just send an API call with a patch.
Wait, do people actually go to stores to buy phone? I haven't done that in years.
Well,
I'll say this though. We switched to Google Fi, and it works really well. We like it a lot. But thing is, I ordered my wife a Pixel 4a because her current phone took a bath in the ocean when we were at the beach, and so it doesn't really charge correctly anymore.
Ooh.
And so I was like, "Oh, cool!" And they're like, "Oh yeah, you get your 4a." Well, it's like I paid to get it shipped like overnight because she needs a new phone badly. Like 3 days ago, and it still hasn't shipped. So I'm like, "Well, what's the deal?" Like, I guess I'll have to go to, like, Best Buy has one. I guess I'll just go to Best Buy and get it.
And buy a phone. I didn't believe that still happened in 2020.
So, apparently so. Okay, anyway. All right. So we can match it to anywhere?
Yeah. You could do anywhere. You could do last part of the number, which
all right.
Totally
Nice.
upright. And we want to do MMS and SMS, yeah?
That's right. Oh, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Let me go back.
Okay.
Okay,
So it doesn't make as much of a difference in the States, but it does outside of the United States.
okay. Okay, cool. All right, so we'll do SMS and MMS. Oh, we couldn't find it.
Oh, Corey, there's a question from Dunked Scooter 69. The question is, how do you prevent people from using this tech for spam calls? Code of conduct?
Oh, God. Yeah, there's the code of conduct, and then there's the tools that we have to sort of stop you. Because the thing is, like, if people start using Twilio phone numbers to spam other folks, like, we still have to take the messages and put them on the phone network. And if we just deliver them to the phone network is going to shut us down. You know how many people are like, how many businesses are going to get impacted?
Right.
So yeah, we have some tooling in place to like stop people, and then we'll notify you. And if you continue, we'll just cut you off the platform.
So because there are like some standards, right? Like if you like reply stop or something like that, aren't there certain things that should always work?
Keywords.
Yeah. Okay.
We have to respect them. Stop is one of them. I can't remember any of the other ones, but I always tell people, if you ever get a message from a phone number and you don't know how to stop it, just reply stop.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm looking at what numbers on the thing correspond to Azman. So that's 29626. And then the other ones, if we wanted to put the full name in there, if we wanted to make it fully qualified, that's 8, let's see, 8, 4, and where's R? 7. So I kind of feel like we're not going to get that whole thing, but let's see. Let's at least try, right?
You never know.
When in Rome.
They do scrub the numbers, so there's a good chance it may be there.
Roller says, I apply with please and pizza.
Well, we got, because, it's political season around here, and it seems like the new thing is, instead of people doing like phone call canvassing, they text people. So
oh God,
people are volunteering to help their candidate or whatever, and then they send text messages from their own numbers. So it's not like it's not like it's not like somebody's number. It's like like their own text message number. And so my wife was getting a ton of them, and so we just started responding with stuff like, "Thanks for subscribing to Cat Facts. This is going to charge you $9.99."
This is the dog gift API. Thank you.
I wish I could take credit for it, but I can't, because we saw somebody do it on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh, this is fantastic!" And then of course she was getting them, so I was like, "Well, let's try it. Let's at least see what happens." And then they start responding, "Stop, cancel, no." It's like, we gotcha. So, okay.
Let me just say, I have never seen the Twilio console return a 500. This is the first time I've ever seen this.
Maybe it's a me problem.
There's always a first time, Corey. There's always
a first time.
Yep.
That first number ends in Azman.
29626. It does. It's in Isabella. What's that?
Minnesota.
What's Montana? MO? Or no, that's Missouri. What's Montana?
Actually, what
MT.
is
Missouri's MO? It can't be
MT.
MO.
Yeah, Missouri's MO.
Missouri's MO.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Should be MI. MT. Montana is MT.
No,
all
Michigan is MI.
Ah.
I don't know why I know these things, actually.
Well, you live in the U.S. I assume that at some point in your 12 years of school, you learn about states.
We do sometimes.
A safe assumption.
That's an assumption.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
So what if I wanted
say about
to?
assumptions.
What if I wanted to? Can I search within an area code? Is it?
You can do an area code, but what I usually say is if you want an area code, things get a little tricky.
Yeah.
So I tend to keep my searches pretty simple.
Okay. That's cool. Let's find one that looks easy. So that's easy enough to remember. This one has too many 6s in it, so I won't remember that.
What's wrong with 6s?
Nothing. It's just when there's so many of them, I would get confused. I grew up in a town called Salisbury, not in Pennsylvania, but at least sort of.
That's an easy number. The second one is easy. 662966.
66 Azman. I think that actually works.
66 there we. Yeah, let me just search. We'll search for Thrazman one more time, just to make sure, just in case, just in the off chance that it's available.
I mean, you could also buy multiple numbers. It's like $1 a number in the States.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. All right. We'll just stick with Azman for now.
Here's Corey upselling.
Yes.
Why stop at 1? Buy 5, get 1 for free.
Oh, we got a whole new chunk of numbers this time. Every time I hit
just
this,
unlocked my potential.
let me send a glowing review to your manager. Corey's done a great job.
okay. So we'll do Salisbury, PA, which is 814-66 Azman. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
It looks like we can make phone calls too. So we've got text and MMS, and it's $1.
Yeah.
It seems like a good $1.
I love that number.
Oh, we can even send and receive faxes.
No, that's not true.
Oh.
So this is where this page is increasingly deceptive. If you buy a phone number to send a fax with, it can only be used for faxes.
Ah, interesting. So we can't do like a woof. What was that?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, okay. All right, so we'll buy it. So I'm going to be charged $1 immediately. Looks like apparently I've still got a good credit card number in here because it let me do it. Okay. So now we've got our number. I guess I'll give it a friendly name of Azman US outbound or Azman US so that I know it's a US number. And I guess that's it, right?
And then just save it for now. We won't change anything else here.
Okay.
I just like to lock down that number first because it's easy to come back and then configure things.
All right, cool.
Now that we've got the number, let's head back to Visual Studio. And I know I heard SDKs are controversial. We're going to go get an SDK.
That's okay. All right. Which SDK are we going to go get?
The Twilio one.
Okay. Is it a NuGet package, I assume? Mm-hmm. All right. What's it called?
Twilio.
Oh, easy enough.
Super
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we have
first
to
one.
ask. We have to ask because at Microsoft we rebrand things so frequently that sometimes packages don't change because we don't want to break things, and then you end up using some obscure name of some service from 10 years ago. Although I don't know
Yeah.
if that's the case. I'm just.
Do we want to be the first download of 5.50.0?
Oh,
I think we
JP,
do.
Someone say,
Oh,
Robert Tables. is
Try it
saying,
and see.
Why are SDKs controversial? I'll let JP take this one. I love my SDKs, by the way. I love my SDKs. But let's hear it.
No, so we've Azure Montana. We should have done that. And also, hey, Chicken Man, good to see you again.
Yeah.
That's a great name. I'm sorry. I heard that. I was like, shit, who are we? Like, are we shaming people?
No. That's
No,
right.
no, we're very inclusive.
That's a great name.
Nah, SDKs inherently aren't bad, but like, especially when we're like, if I need to do one thing in an SDK, like make one call, the Graph is the first one that comes to mind. But Graph is actually a really well designed SDK. The Azure SDKs are really well designed, but for me, if I need to make one call to one endpoint, I'm kind of like, do I really need an SDK for this? I mean, and so I don't like to pull in a ton of packages, especially when you might pull in an SDK package and it pulls in 55 packages of itself, right? Mm-hmm. So that's that. I don't. They're not controversial in the sense that I think that they're bad or anything, but sometimes. And perhaps it's a bad design, or perhaps it's just a requirement of what it is. Sometimes you pull in an SDK, and next thing you know, you've got 48 packages just to keep your SDK afloat, right? And you go build a self-executing, or a self-contained executable, and you've got 4 lines of code, and it's an 88 meg package because you got all this extra stuff you need to put in. So I personally just, especially when you and I are working on stuff. There's so much abstraction that can happen in SDKs.
Correct.
And you and I do a bunch of authentication and token work, and so it's like, here's a package that completely simplifies the token acquisition process, and that's great. It's awesome, but there are definitely cases where, if you're writing your own API, are you going to go build your own SDK for it? Are you going to, build an SDK and then have a bunch of good docs for it so that you can abstract away all the authentication stuff, and it's a lot of extra work. So I like to fall kind of to the side of, well, let's use primitives when we've got them, and we'll move up to an SDK when we need one. But like in this case, and part of this is that I'm biased because I've used the Twilio SDK before, so I know it's not like super huge and heavy, and it's much easier to use it because the SDK maps to the API itself fairly well, which makes it makes sense when you're using it, regardless of if you're familiar with the API or not. So that's all.
But I have
that's
to
all
say that the Graph SDK, for example, because it's funny, we're recording a show with Darren Miller, which is going to air in the next few weeks. But I did say, hey, my partner in crime does not like SDKs. And he's like, you know what? We designed for that. So there's a core library for Graph that actually brings only the very basic components in without a lot of dependency trees. And the whole point there is that you can tag in your own HTTP clients if you want to. You can inject stuff at any point, but it's so core that it doesn't bring all the weight. And I like the design of the Graph SDK, for example, because they've cleverly designed for, hey, I want the full handrails, support me all the way, or I know what I'm doing. Just give me the basic auth stuff and the ability to speak to an endpoint. And from that point onwards, I control the flow. So if every SDK was designed like that, that would be awesome because it allows you different degrees of engagement.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll stop my soapbox there about SDKs, and I will say use whatever tool makes sense to you. And let's move on to writing some code.
All right. So let me get to. So we're gonna get to. I'm gonna just go. I'll just go back to VS Code. So we'll get our package manager thing installed here. we'll get our Twilio package installed for our project whenever my PowerShell window decides to come up. Cool. And we're going to be the first downloaders of... Uh-oh. Apparently it doesn't like that. Oh, well, what's the problem here? Oh, then I didn't use the right one. I used Package Manager, and we're in VS Code, so...
.NET App Package.
Yep.
Exactly.
Cool. All right. So now we've got the latest Twilio in our project. Cool. We're all restored. Everything's good to go. All right. And so since we might support other kinds of messages in the past or in the future, I just kind of quickly slapped together a couple, just a couple things, and a notifier interface that really just does two things. It sends a message and sends a message on a specific channel. And the messages themselves have a pretty basic contract: message, notification, and an ID for what channel we want to send it over. So I figured we'll implement one for all the different providers that we want to use. So we're going to use Twilio for SMS. We might use something different for email, although it looks like... Did Twilio buy SendGrid? Did I miss that?
We sure did. Twilio's been on a purchasing spree. I felt like, okay, so this is completely random. In the States, they've just relaunched a show called Supermarket Suite. Oh, yeah. In watching the number of acquisitions Twilio has done, I've been like, oh, we are on a Supermarket Suite. We are shopping till we drop. Man.
Oh, it's awesome.
We just bought another company called Segment, which is an amazing company. And I haven't had the chance to play with them, with their software, but looking at the demos, I'm like, oh, that looks powerful. So, yeah.
Nice. Cool. So I figure for email, we might just have a separate... Email, we'll just have a separate notifier, and then we'll just roll through whichever ones are turned on when it's time to send out a notification. So I've got a super basic Twilio notifier here, and I figure we can do most of our work in here, and then we'll go wire it up and see how it works. What do you think?
Oh, that's totally easy and simple. I love this.
All right.
You may want to throw a default constructor in here.
Okay.
Because to send an SMS, we have to initialize the Twilio client.
Okay.
And that's a singleton.
Oh.
So and there's actually a lot of controversy inside Twilio about whether that should remain a singleton and why that's a singleton.
I like singletons, to be honest. It makes life a lot easier.
It's you can create your own Twilio client if you want. Okay. But it's just, it gets a little tricky. So you do have to be careful.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Okay. So I'll just put a private Twilio client in here. And we will...
This was dirty, JP. Constructor tab for the win.
What?
Sorry. What did you do there?
What are you saying, Bull?
All right. You can do CTO or tab, and then it will create a constructor for you.
I never do those things.
Why?
Man,
my memory is terrible.
It's too much. It's too much magic.
Prop tab creates a property. CTO or tab creates a constructor. These are at least the easiest things you can.
Sounds like someone who drives by the command line. I don't do such things.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
What happened to my camera? Oh, there you go.
I will give you that this is easier. Thank you, Bolt. So I've got my client, and so we've got a client. And are there any sort of ASP.NET or any of the .NET dependency hooks that are available or helpers, or are we just going to wire up a new client ourselves and stick it in the container?
Kind of. I should have said something before you wrote this.
Okay.
Which is, in your constructor, what you're going to do, instead of actually doing it this way where you inject it, you're literally just going to do a Twilio client.init call. And why I'm saying that is so you will have to do the import of the using Twilio statement, right?
Yeah.
So that way you pull Twilio's library into your code.
Yeah.
But the way that we wire this up behind the scenes is we take your account SID and your auth token. We do the base 64 encode for you, and then we stick that on an HTTP client behind the scenes.
Oh,
so that way you never have to do it.
Yeah.
But that's all it really does. So it's just it makes it easy to just do this one call, so you never have to worry about any of that.
Okay. So the output of init, does that give us? So that's just okay. So I see. So it's a static.
Yeah.
So Okay.
I should have said that too.
No, I'm with you now. I'm with you. Okay, so we've got Twilio client. We're going to initialize it here and give it our account stuff, right?
Yeah. Now you probably want to hide this bit because we don't show our bits on screen.
Yeah. So, if you're going to do it,
So
do it
many
in your.
different connotations there.
If you're going to do it in your room, right?
That's exactly right.
So let's see. So let's do this. Where
Are you using user secrets?
I am. Well, actually, I don't know if I am.
No, we're not getting any secrets here. I wonder if we should use Key Vault or something to wire it up.
Well,
we could use Key Vault.
We can use Key Vault when we get it out there, but what are we going to use for local dev? What's the best way to store this
Do
locally?
.NET secrets.
Yeah, that would be the easier way to do it. Just add specifically the auth token to secrets.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Is it .NET Secret or .NET Secrets?
Secrets. What's the rating on this show again? It's
The After
PG.
Dark episode was Wednesday.
Yeah, true. Although there was nothing after dark there. It was more kosher than the morning show.
Yeah, this is telling me I don't. It says that command
.NET
isn't
tools
available.
install secrets. Yeah, you need to install it. It's
You
an
have to.
extension.
Oh, geez.
Really?
I thought it just came.
Yeah.
Is it just
No
tool?
way.
Oh, I'm
.NET
surprised.
Tools
Okay.
install secrets.
See, this is why I don't like doing the command line.
Yeah, see? All right. So .NET tool install secrets. Okay. Cannot find a manifest file. What? Oh, global. I guess that is a global tool, isn't it?
CLI for the win. Exactly. I am right. Who likes CLI here? Who likes GUI?
No, that was not for the win. That was actually for the loss.
Yeah. I've now lost. I've now lost twice. So .NET. Let's see. So .NET tool install. Or I guess we'll do a search. Let me do a search first. Search secrets.
Yeah, I'm doing the same search. because
.NET
this
user
is-
secrets.
Yeah. How the hell do I run a Twitch poll, man?
Oh, it's user secrets. Here, I'll just drop this into the chat.
All right.
There we go.
And then do we do it as a global one?
It should be a global tool, but I thought it just came installed with the .NET CLI.
That's what I thought too. But okay, so .NET user
Hyphen.
secrets.
No, I'm sorry. .NET space user hyphen secrets space init. That should take care of that for me.
The application to execute does not exist. I guess maybe I need a new window, perhaps. Like, no, maybe it's just not available yet in that because in the path.
How many developers does it take to initialize user secrets?
Elegi says .NET user dash secrets.
Yeah.
Init.
Yeah, that's the command I dropped in chat.
Oh, okay.
And then space init. No flags. just
No
init.
flags, just an end.
Seth Brand says I spy a hurricane.
Huh?
I spy a Chefy B. What's
Yeah.
up, Chef Brent?
Okay. Finally, we've made it. Finally, I have some user secrets. Okay. So
Now we gotta figure out how to add a secret.
now I gotta figure
.NET
out how
secret
to.
add. .NET secret add, I think.
It's actually not. It's .NET user secret set.
It's been a while. I have a blog post about that, but I haven't used it in so long because I tend to go with Key Vault, right? So from my perspective, even if you're developing locally, I prefer to wire up Key Vault and let it do all the work for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I need what my account SID and my auth token, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna add these before. I'll add these on
At some
another
point.
screen so that so that nobody sees them because I do actually have
stuff.
I do actually have apps running in my Twilio account, so I don't really want to. I don't want to accidentally
Oh.
put that out there. So
That's a good call out. So if you are, for folks who do use Twilio, a lot of folks don't realize we have the concept of projects in the Twilio console. So let's just presume that like you already have an account that has some running things on it. You could totally just go create a new project. It has its own account SID, its own auth token, its own resources. The two shall never cross. It's great.
cool. I should have done that, but I didn't. But that's okay.
Next time.
Okay, so now, all right. So now I need to get to them. What's the quickest and fastest way to get there? To
You
get
gotta
them,
inject the
of course.
config thing. The configuration
all right.
object.
Okay, well, let's. All right. So, what is that, Christos? Like add secrets? Do we have to do anything like that?
It's set, isn't it?
No, to get it in our code.
Oh,
I think it's add user secrets.
Okay. Add
just because I wrote the blog post doesn't mean I remember everything.
When's the last time you looked at that blog post?
Let me see. It's been a while.
Let's see. It looks like. Oh, .com tells us there's a great Twilio blog about adding user secrets.
Yeah,
God,
I wrote one, and
still
my friend
using-
Layla Kodza wrote one.
Ooh, it's still using. It's from March 2018. So that's a good 2.5 years.
All right, accessing a secret. So, I see. Oh.
Wait a
So,
minute.
create default builder. It looks like create default builder has them. Although we're not we're using functions, and so functions are going to be a little bit different.
That's what I'm just checking now because it's a little wonky for functions.
Yeah.
You have to add a package. Yup,
Oh.
that's what I remembered. You have to add the Microsoft extensions configuration user secrets package. Good lord.
Maybe we should write a blog post about that.
Maybe I should just put them in a file and not open that file up, and then put them in Key Vault when we get out to the.
Oh, a JSON file. Yeah, you can add the JSON file and just drag it from the JSON file. How
You can
about
totally do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Might be easier like that.
Here, I found a blog post. So thank you, Cesar Codes. It looks like so this is. Oh, it's actually fairly straightforward. Yeah, the extensions configuration user secrets package. So let's do add package.
Using Microsoft extensions, configuration says LG, and D-Trouble says, oh, Twilio password must be minimum 14 characters long. Is that correct?
That's probably true.
It's good, as long as they don't have an upper limit. Because if you see upper limit, you just run.
Yeah.
It means that they're not hashing their passwords and they have some artificial limits there. So minimum is great, maximum not.
I learned something new today. Now I know to go tell the folks in security you're doing a good job.
Yeah, and in general, rule of thumb, if you see websites that truncate, like there are websites out there that they won't tell you they have an upper limit, and sometimes they truncate if you use a 100-character password that I use sometimes because I use a password manager. So God help me if I have to type it by hand.
God.
But what happens is I've been to sites where I would set a password to a very long password. They would truncate at submit, and then when you go back, it does not allow you to sign in because it hasn't told you that it truncated the password. So either they will tell you that they have an upper limit, or they won't tell you and truncate your password, and you're screwed.
That is funky.
It is funky and awful because to impose an upper limit, it means that your database can't handle the passwords, which means that you're not hashing them.
See, this is why I just like to give it to things like Azure. Like, why am I doing this? Just go
Yeah,
give it
man.
to Azure.
So
Let Azure do it.
I need a type. I need a type for my. I need a type for getting of where the secrets are stored. But which type is it? I mean,
You can't do this. Like,
Where-
could you just do this?
where are you putting that? Which chat? I have 14 chats open, so I'm just not sure which one it's going into.
What are you searching? DT in the cloud says if nobody can log in, you're extra secure. That's a good point.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, I forgot. You guys are also on the other channel, too. Let me pull up that chat. I
Yeah,
totally
man.
missed that.
We're on the Microsoft developer as well.
That's
We
right.
have our friends there.
Oh, now I'm here, too.
Yeah, unavoidable, essentially. So I wonder what type. I mean, is it the type of? It wouldn't be the type of startup. It's going to be our. It's going to be our overall assembly, right? Which is going to be.
So the code sample I see says assembly.get executing assembly to get the assembly.
I don't
know if that returns a type.
I don't think we can do assembly get executing assembly. Do we have that available in .NET Core?
That's a good
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Just let me see.
I need to learn how to
Assembly.
do a survey, by the way. Nice. Oh, you know what? It could be under.
Was it so system runtime maybe? Well, okay. Assembly. We'll do assembly.
Trying to find the runtime location.
Get executing assembly, and then let's see. Does this resolve to anything? Yeah, system reflection. Okay. And then, do we want this? Then we'll make this optional. because of course we're not going to have
Bro,
it.
Yeah,
why
it should
don't
be
you use .NET 5? We are on .NET 5.
No, we're not.
Well,
Yeah.
sorry.
It's
think
functions.
Functions is
I don't
on
think we
Functions
can.
don't support .NET 5.
I don't think we can do .NET 5 yet, because it's because I don't know if Functions supports .NET 5. Does Azure Functions support .NET 5 yet?
App Service supports it right now if you deploy a website via the portal. So programmatically deploying a website will not work. Or if you do right-click deploy via Visual Studio, it will not work. But if you go and create a website or a web app first, it will allow you to select .NET 5.
They've got Docker images though, yeah. Like you
Yes,
could
but
probably
there was a question about that. In fact, what they do is they delegate to the runtime component. So even if you're running inside a container, the context runs inside the runtime execution, which is still a 3.1.
Got it.
But we will definitely know. We will definitely get that. I think the teams are working furiously to get .NET 5 support across all of Azure.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, Docker doesn't work, Mr. Robert Tables. And don't say Kubernetes.
Okay. Anyway. Okay. So we've got our user secrets in here, which also sort of implies that we are we need to get our secrets out. These are just added to configuration, right? Mm-hmm. So they should just be in the configuration object. Now, in functions, I thought that there was a problem trying to add a
I found the answer on Stack Overflow. System.io path combine context.function directory, and then the file that you want to run. So that's you need to add the execution context into your function.
Oh, in the function call.
Well,
Yes,
but this is pretty early on though, because this is in startup. I don't think is there an execution context yet during function startup?
But do you need it at the execution startup? You can bypass the whole thing and then just grab the. Or we don't have a file, right?
So just not use user secrets at all.
I mean, we could dump it into the app settings.
Why don't we? I mean, we could
Alright.
dump it in the app settings if you want.
I'm gonna dump it in app settings and not open my window and not open this
Exactly.
window.
Don't do that. There you go.
What?
And then we need to find a way in another blog post. Maybe we get somebody from Azure Functions to show us how to do it securely.
Well, because this would work. This works fine in ASP.NET. I think it's the hard
Correct.
the hard part is how do we make it work in.
Who would you like to see from the Azure Functions team to come on our show? Let's get, maybe we'll try to get Jeff Holland.
That's what I was gonna say. Jeff always knows the answers to these things. Like he'll
Yes.
just tweet me the random answer, and I'm like, I'm not surprised that you knew that I was asking this question. Okay, thank you.
Okay, well we will use this for now, in the hopes that we will. I mean, we wouldn't publish this like this anyway because we'll put these secrets in Key Vault or something. So
It's true.
yeah, like
If you do publish it though, we can recycle your bits. So
okay, good. Okay.
.com in production, we could do that, but right now we want to do more the Twilio integration rather than the secure thing. So
right.
Takes a string with the secret ID. So I could get the secret ID out of the CS Proj and use that, but okay. At least for the moment. For the moment, I think we're okay. In fact, we probably don't even need this. Although I'll leave it just to see if it works. So let's get back to our Twilio notifier, and here we need our configuration, right? Do we have our configuration available anywhere? I feel like my whole brain has just stopped working. Where am I getting all my configs now?
Yeah, I wonder how it gets passed around.
all the properties in the config are available via
Execution context?
either execution context or via environment variables.
Well, would it also be possible to just do this and add our own Twilio client here and
You could do
configure it?
that and wrap it. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
Are you
just,
doing dependency injection for the Twilio service?
well, we are now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what we're gonna do if we do this.
Yeah, I mean, it's a singleton anyway, right? It's just a static, so... Okay, let's just do it in here, and then... That
And
way,
then you just call Twilio client.init there,
yeah.
like the static one.
Okay.
And the good thing is that doesn't call anything. It just sets variables behind the scenes.
Yep. Okay. Although, you know what? It is expecting us to return one because it's going to push it. It's going to inject it. So we need to return. We do have to return one. Of course.
That means you're going to have to create your own client, which you can do by overriding Twilio REST client.
That sounds like a whole lot of work. Okay, that's fine. Let's just figure out how to get our config downstream enough that we can use it. I mean, worst case, we could just... worst case, we...
all just to set passwords, I tell you.
I know. I guess worst case, we could just make a config block. I don't really like the options pattern at all. I think it's kind of weird.
I will elevate that comment because it's worth mentioning.
What?
Can I just say that this dark mode ID is making Corey's heart pop.
Thank you.
All right. So I need to, let's see, Azure Functions configuration. Is it available somewhere? Can we just...
It is via the context.
Can we just inject it, just like we do in an ASP.NET app?
I wrote a blog post about Azure Functions the other day, and I used the eye configuration, and what's his name? Anthony Chu was like, no, you're doing it wrong. You shouldn't be using eye configuration. It should be available to you via environment variables. So
I'm super curious about this now.
Yeah, me too. I don't really like the idea of... What am I going to go read environment variables? That's the whole point of pulling them into iConfiguration here. To build our config, we read the environment variables then. So going and reading a different environment variable at runtime just seems... This doesn't seem to make any sense to me. So
in the function, you can inject an iConfiguration object.
Okay. So let's see. Twilio account.
Yep.
SID. And let's look at config.
Let me add the code there for the config. Swag King. Yeah, Swag King. Exactly.
There's a controversy that popped up in my friend Chatterbox Coder's stream because he called himself the Swag King, though he has no access to any of the hot
I pushed the code
swag.
there on the chat.
So yeah.
Well, yeah, so we've got that. Let's see. So Twilio account. Now I don't remember what I put in it. Let me move this out of the way so nobody sees it.
Don't show the bits.
I hope we do this one time and then we'll be done. Let's see.
And
local settings.
40 minutes for storing a secret, 10 minutes for sending a text.
I mean,
and I bet you it's gonna take 5 minutes.
It's like WCF all over again. 90% configuration, 10% code. You can never get it right the first time. Twilio account SID, Twilio account token. Those should be the two. Make sure those are Twilio account SID, Twilio account token. All right.
We're trying our hardest.
I know. See, I don't like. Why would I want dependencies on options or in this case configuration littered throughout my code? I don't want that there. Right? Like, don't send me an options. Send me the strongly typed configuration class that I made for my thing. Don't wrap it in options first. Anyway, okay. So Twilio client dot init, and it needs my username. Let's see. So which one do I use? The account SID?
Account SID would be your username.
Okay.
And then token would be the password.
Okay. So now we're initialized.
And then, yep,
send.
That's it.
Twilio send.
Then to send the text message, how are you going to get your... Well, let's just assume you know who you're sending it to, right? For
Good
now.
point. For now, we know who that's going to be, right?
Right. We'll go into your notify. I guess you'll use notify, and then probably notify with the channel will come back into notify probably.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. That's how I figured. So in that one, what you can do is you can call message resource.create. So there's probably a using you've got to put in here.
Yep.
I never keep track of these things.
Is it in the? Do you know which namespace it's in? Is it in?
No, because our namespaces go way too long. And it's not message resource, it's messaging resource.
Messaging resource. Okay,
Yeah.
messaging resource, and it's create.
Dot create. Now let's see if the using picks up.
Doesn't look like it.
What in the heck?
Messaging resource. Okay.
Message resource. No, I was wrong. I was right the first time. It's message resource.
Okay.
Clearly. See, this is what I'm telling you.
There we go. So which one do we? So we want REST API v2010 service channel
Yes.
for. Okay. All right. So
That's why I told you the namespaces just get weird.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now we have create message options. So I guess we need a new create message options.
Or just click down on that to see the second definition, because you actually don't need this.
Okay.
You can totally just specify
Nice.
the parameters, right? So you can who you want to send it to. You click to : who it's coming from would be your Twilio number, and then the body would be the message on your notification message.
Okay. So this looks like it's a type of phone number.
There's a reason why we do that. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but they've told me in the past.
Okay.
You do want to do the name parameters on this, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I guess it is pretty. I guess it'd be lots of different phone numbers. So 2 is a new phone number with a string, and I need area code or a country code on this, right?
Yeah, you want to do a specific format, and it's the E. God, I always get the number wrong, but do +1 for your United States
Okay.
numbers.
I'm going to pull up my Google Voice account because it's our home phone, which is unplugged. But it's the number we give out whenever somebody wants to, like if somebody says, "Oh, we need a home phone number.
We need a
your
home
phone
number."
We're like, well, I'm not going to give you my cell phone number because that's insanity.
Thanks for
So
wanting to get to know me.
instead, well, they always call, "Oh, can I speak to Mr. Davidson?" Like, nope, sorry, no Davidson's here. See ya. So I'll use my home phone number.
What's a home phone, says Robert Tables. Well, back in the good old days, when mobiles did not exist, there was this wire thing attached to the wall or your desk with some long extension cords, if you never experienced that. And that was fun days where there was only one phone in the house and
That's
you
right.
couldn't use the internet because your mom was trying to call
On
her
the phone.
friends. Yeah, man.
Gossiping about the soap.
Mom, get off the phone. I'm downloading this MP3 for the last 4 hours. You killed the connection.
Then there's also get off the internet. I'm trying to make a phone call.
Yes. Then ISDN came. It was like, oh my God, you can have 2 lines in the same house
That's exactly
with a
right.
splitter. Yeah.
All right. It was my wife told me that back where she grew up, because she grew up like in the middle of nowhere in Michigan. They had what's called a party line. So like they shared their phone line with other people nearby. So not just people in your house, but with other people like on the same dirt road. It was pretty fascinating. Okay, so I got 2 and a from, and let's see what else do we have. Like maybe a message.
And then you want to set up body.
Okay.
So there you go. Body :
and is
Now
that
you will get a ton of messages says D trouble, but
is that just a
that's the
string?
whole point.
Is that just a string?
that is just a string.
Okay. Hey there. Hey,
Yeah, that works.
shoot your shot, right? So I guess let's do hey, or no. We have to keep the aura of Thrazman being a big brute. I delete. And then let's see. In our
Me
message,
delete. How about
we
me
have.
delete? Run, I delete. Me delete.
Oh, you know what? We don't even need that. I just have a message, so we'll just do that here instead. So we will set our message from the caller upstream. Okay,
And,
so
and that literally is it.
are you serious? This is it. So
Do we not need to do a send?
You came on here and listened to us for 90 minutes to literally have one. And then do we have to send it like Twilio client.send or anything? No.
No, so what happens is when you do this, it actually creates the message and sends it, or attempts to send it. So there are a couple things we can do, right? Like one is you can wrap this in a try catch, because this is the method that tries to send it. So if something fails, here is where you see the failure happen. The second is we could make it asynchronous, yes, because if you want to just sort of fork this off and go do something else, you can do that. The third is if you ever want to get a reference back to this message, you can create a variable off of the response from this. And so one of the things that we usually tell people is like, check the response for something called a SID. If the response has a SID, that means that it successfully sent the message.
Okay, cool.
The SID is just a unique ID that we sort of assign to everything.
Yeah, Janisco says that conversion comes from Twilio Signal this year. Oh, why did you make this static method in it? This is horrible, says Hapco Wild.
You are not alone in sharing this sentiment. I will only say that, as I said earlier, this is a complicated topic that is incredibly controversial, and we continue to debate it, even from, I think, the time I joined Twilio some almost 4 years ago now.
Wow. Okay. All right. So, but that's cool. Okay. So I can get a SID, right? And so I guess one of the ways to check success is really to see if there is a SID, right? So the message object. Oh, so this will have a date sent. It'll have a. Is it messaging service SID?
No, just
Malcolm.
SID. Just SID.
Just SID.
Malcolm
Okay.
98 says we should all four join a hackathon. What kind of hackathon, guys, would you like to do? I mean, we did a workshop yesterday, which was super fun. Would
Yeah.
you be interested in running a hackathon over the show? Let us know, and we'll set it up.
You know what we need to do? And we were talking to Mr. Dubois before the show. So we we actually have a phone number, so you can call in to the show and we can talk to you. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's an 800 number, so it's free in the U.S.
Yes.
Where you can call us and talk to us, like on the show. So we're going to do like a call-in show. But I just have to figure out how to do it, and it'd be really fun to build that with Twilio, right? To build out the whole phone, in particular the bleeping, because inevitably somebody's going to say something unsavory. Might even be one of us, and we need a button that we can say.
We keep it PG. Come on.
Well,
We're
I don't trust people. So we actually have a whole product that allows us to get the live transcript of a phone call and to do things with it if we need to. So I'm just saying, we can have a ton of fun on another string.
Oh yeah.
I guess we
I
do.
like how you're self-inviting yourself. It's awesome. We would love to have you again.
Thank you. I'm glad you noticed.
Faraday Frank says, can you explain why you use C# for this? I assume that Twilio, like Azure and Azure AD, have all sorts of libraries and SDKs for other languages.
Yeah.
We started writing Thrazman with C# because we like C# and we're more comfortable with that. But we could have written the whole thing in Node, for example.
Yep.
By the way, we are running on Functions, so there's a limitation of which languages you can use right now on Functions. So Azure Functions support C#, they support PowerShell, which we attempted to write some stuff with PowerShell as well. Python, TypeScript, Node, obviously. What else? Quite a few more languages, in fact. So if you don't like C#, then feel free to rewrite the whole thing in your favorite language, as long as it's supported on Azure Functions.
Yeah, we did C# just for the sake of it was familiar. We had a bunch of libraries we wanted to use, but you could do this in PowerShell and Node and what else do we say? Java. What else do we support in Functions? Those are the big ones.
We support
Node.
Java. I think we support Go
Python.
programmatically as well now, so you can do Go, C#, Java, JavaScript, PowerShell, Python, TypeScript.
Yeah.
And I think there's a Go preview.
Oh my goodness.
Can Corey explain what Twilio free plan is about? That's from D Trouble, by the way.
We have a free
Explain.
plan? I didn't. I mean, no. See, and Sheffy B is here. Don't you
Upselling all
click
the
that.
time. I
Don't
love
send
that.
that to Marcos. Anyway.
Yeah, that's
No,
one
the
way.
way
That's one way to get a free plan is just to go to people and say, "Hey, well, tell me about your company's free plan." And they're like, "Wait, what? We have a free
Exactly
plan?"
right.
Now we do, apparently. Corey will be paying for it.
No, the way it works is every time you create a Twilio account, we give you credits by default. So the way that we use virtual currency, but you pay into it, right? Which is credits. So we give you like, I don't know, $15 to start off with, or $20. I think it changes. But for context, I got a project that had $25 in it for the last year. And of all the things that have gone wrong in 2020, this one project still has like $18 in it. Nice. Like, I kid you not, you can totally get away with not spending a ton of money. So that's the free plan that I know of.
Nice.
And,
All right.
And Azure Functions is also free. So every Azure Function service comes with 1 million executions free for a month. So technically, everything we're running here could be running for free for a very long time.
Well, forever, as long as we keep it under 1 million executions. I mean, because it's 1 million executions per month, right?
That is per month. And if you want to be clever, you can actually split these functions into individual function service plans. So every function can have 1 million executions. So rather than calling the same function with different API endpoints, you could split it out and then run for. I didn't say that loud, did I?
Well, I think it's 1 million. I'm pretty sure it's 1 million across all of your your whole subscription.
No, it's 1 million per Azure function, because we've done this with customers before when they wanted to ensure that they don't split, like they don't over. Although it's 1 million executions for free, or a certain amount of minute gigabit RAM. So there's a calculation to do, like how much RAM do you consume per function or CPU cycles. In fact, let me actually add a link to the Azure Functions cost calculator, because that can help you work out. But in most cases, the 1 million runtime, if you're running atomic simple calls, should cover you.
Yeah, the pricing page said it's all consumption plans, but whatever. We can figure out the details. Okay, so now we got to call it, right? So we got all these functions in here. We've got ones that scan for expired and whatever. We don't need to worry about those because those are doing things like the deletion and whatever. The one that we're interested in is this upcoming deletion, right? So what this is doing is it's scanning for resources that are near deletion. And then right now it's sending them to the resource group notify queue, right? And that is an outbound queue for going and doing notifications, because we wanted to have potentially many different notification centers. We didn't want this function hanging up on that. We wanted to just blast them out, let them go happen as much as in parallel, right? Yeah. So now we have a function, notify expiration, and this is the thing that's actually going to do the notification. And I think we're going to have to do two things. We're going to have to go get the resource data, so we know the name, we know we know what data it's going to expire. You know, we get all the resource data itself. Then we're going to build up our message, and then we're going to ping our notifier, right?
Sweet.
So let's add a notifier as one of our dependencies to our function here. So I'll make this a little bit easier to read. We'll put this down a little bit. We'll add one more here called an iNotifier. And in reality, I think it would actually end up being a list of these, or some kind of enumerable of all the different kinds of notifiers that we would want. But for now, we'll just use the single one. We'll just use a single one, and we'll call this the notifier. And we'll come up here and give ourselves a private one that we can use. And we'll call it notifier. And then we'll get that wired up here. So our notifier is our notifier. So we talk about, shorthand and tabs and, write CTOR tab and get yourself a constructor. This is what we need is I have a new dependency tab, and it wires up all the silliness for you.
Just do a code snippet.
Oh God.
Well, but it's got to go in multiple places. I guess we'll do a singleton here because I can't imagine we'll get too much contention on it. An iNotifier, and we'll use our Twilio notifier.
This is my one issue with the built-in dependency injection stuff with ASP.NET Core is you can't register two of the same interface. Oh yeah, two implementations of the same interface. And it sucks.
I think there's some things you can do with named options But yeah, like in fact, that's why you can't add Microsoft Identity with B2C and Azure AD in the same app and have it work without doing a bunch of extra work on your own, because they both have OpenID Connect options that they configure. They both have there are a bunch of things that they both do. They're virtually identical, and they end up blowing each other out of the way. So.
Code with Son says use Autofac and tie it into ASP.NET IOC. I mean, that's an option, right?
Yeah,
That's usually what I end up doing when I need to do that.
Tapco Wild is saying you can just resolve them with IEnumerable T.
Well, no, because then you have to go through and search for the right service every time you need the implementation.
There's a question from D-Trouble. Does Twilio support activity tracking that I can connect it to some observability tracking tool and integrate to tracing of my system like OpenTelemetry?
There are things that you can do with webhooks, such that as different things happen, like with an SMS message, it sends out a notification to tell you, hey, this thing was sent. It was delivered. The person may have read it with chat messages. And that's super easy to configure, actually.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Do you have a blog post that points to that? Maybe we can share that on the chat.
Let me go find it right now.
There you go.
Okay, so our notifier is going to be pretty simple, right? Our notifier is going to notify.
Service.
So we need a new notification message here. And let's see, what do we want to put in here? What do we want to put in our message for this one? This one is, let's see, our message is going to be,
You're overthinking it. Thrazman here. Just put it on the OBS Ninja and I will share it, Corey, because you can't share links.
Oh, okay. Let me send it there. Let me send it to you right now.
Thank you, sir.
I dropped it in two channels.
I see. Yeah. I'll copy that.
oh, so this is like delivery confirmation.
Yeah, it's the same. It gives a really good premise, and it's exact same infrastructure that you use, because it's just webhooks behind the scenes.
All right, so what are we getting in here? So we're getting in our resource search result, which really just gives us a subscription and a resource ID. So now we actually need that. The resource data itself, right? So do we have? So we've got our resource manager. We've got tags, but we don't have. I don't have any way to just go get the resource. Huh. Interesting.
Do you not add that?
Yeah, I guess we're going to have to add that. So let's go over to our resource manager.
Wait a minute. How do we store the object if we don't have the object itself? Remember how we do the backup before we delete? How do we handle that?
Well, we've got a method called export resource group template by name.
There it goes.
So we don't
That's one
get
way
the
to do it.
itself, right?
So that's fine. So we got to go to our Azure resource management thing and look. And of course, one of the reasons why we had this in the first place was because we had some questions around, hey, well, can you do this for AWS? Can we do this with GCP? And it's like, well, sure, we can delete anything you like. Just tell us what you need. Okay, so we've got our tagging stuff here. Add tags, delete resource, get raw tag value, get a tag value, export resource group by name. And I guess now we need one for essentially just getting the resource group, right?
Yep.
And then it's going to get a little bit leaky because now we're like, oh, let's just pass the resource group object back out there. Of course, there's no such thing as a resource group in AWS. So we don't have to think about it right now because we've only got half an hour and I want to send a text message out. So let's do, for the moment, we're going to just do a resource group. We'll just export the resource, or we'll send back the resource group model that we get from Azure SDK, and we can come back and refactor that one later. So that's Azure. Is it resource manager, resources, models, resource group? I believe is the one that we get. We'll just do a get resource. We'll just call this get resource group, and we'll have a subscription and we'll have a resource group. Oops. Resource group name. Okay. So in here, we are now in here. This is when we actually have our. Oh, are we not? Well, I guess we're creating these on the fly, aren't we? Yeah, our resource manager clients we're doing. We're creating as we need them. So we'll just go grab our resource manager client. Resource manager client get. Let's see, groups, resource groups, and we'll do a get async. And what is it looking for? It looks like it needs just a name. Perfect. So in here we've got our resource group name. We have to await that. And what are we going to get back? We're going to get back a resource group. So we will just, let's see, group response. And we'll just return our group response value. Okay. Obviously, we need to clean this up a little bit. So if group response, if there's, we're not catching or we're not dealing with any errors right here, but we'll leave this for the moment. I got to take this signature and we got to go put it in our interface so we have it.
Yeah, Corey, we haven't set up the theme yet because we are awful with our automation, but
it is.
It's on one channel. We just don't have access.
Right.
We don't have access to the bots for the Microsoft Developer channel.
I was so wrong.
Well, we have access to some things, but we're not able to add bots to the Microsoft Developer channel because it's used by a lot more people. So.
Yeah, because the last thing we would want to do is mess up what anybody else is working on. You know what I mean?
True statement.
Okay, so let's go get our.
What are we building? We're adding Twilio notification support to Thrazman, which is a tool that automates Azure resource management by saying, "Hey, Alexa, go and delete my resources," or you can send you a notification now with Twilio and say, "I'm going to delete your resources in 2 days." So we'll automatically tag them and mark them for deletion. And now we want to make sure that we get notified before that happens. And we have our friend CL Dubois, or Corey, helping us out set up Twilio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's awesome.
So we've got our. So we're going to go get our resource group because we got to get a little bit of data off of it. And the first thing we're going to need is we want the group, and we'll just get the group name, and then we will get the expiration date, which is group tags. We should have a tag on here. We'll just do a first. We'll do a.
Ooh, good morning. Oh, AZ Wildfire is here. Woo-hoo!
Oh, good.
Our honorary third member.
I love that.
Let's see what he's asking. When are you gonna show me how to integrate Azure AD Auth with Traffic 2x? I have no idea what Traffic 2x is. But how about if we show you how to integrate Azure AD with Firebase? How about that?
Wait, can you do that?
Do what?
Yes, I've got a blog post about using
snaps.
Firebase. Yeah, let me point you to that.
I definitely will need to read that for another side project I'm working on. Because
See, so many things, man.
you wouldn't be a developer without having 18 side projects, yeah?
That's right. Okay, so something clearly.
Yes, that project is on GitHub actually. It's under JP's account.
Yeah, we'll put a link out. It's JPDA /
Azman 2.0?
Azman -V2.
Yeah, close.
Close.
Enough. I'll put the link on the chat. And Corey, I'll put the link for the Azure AD with Firebase calling MS Graph. Oh, using Node.js, man.
Yeah, I just snagged that.
Yeah.
I'm going to save that.
Infra for life, says AZ Wildfire. I need to promote that because he's our infra guy in the team. We need an infrastructure person.
Yeah, he's got a wealth of experience across everything. He also has like 2 10 gigabit per second links going into his house. So of course you have to believe them, right?
Two? Gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one is never enough.
Because one obviously isn't enough. So, and then of course the thing is, like, we were all trying to get some stuff from his house, and none of it was working. So it's like, well, it's great that you've got 20 gigabits, you've got a storage account level of bandwidth at your house, but nobody can access it. So thanks for that. Okay.
His house actually a data center. It's an Azure data center.
Yeah, we're calling it West US 3.
Select permissions to access.
Yeah.
Done.
Okay, so expiration date. Okay.
JP is just jealous. Yeah.
What?
Is he though?
I mean, like, obviously that's what it is, right? Okay. What am I'm apparently I'm just complete. My brain is not working today. So I got a new notification message. I'm setting my property here. Let's see. We don't need. This isn't a verbose string. I just don't need. Yeah. Okay. What is this?
Oh yeah, that's it.
I feel. It seems like Okay. So that's my initializer. That's the close of my notify. What is the problem here? Why doesn't it like this? That seems valid. I thought that was valid. What's the problem? What is the
What
problem?
is the problem?
Oh, well, for starters, I need to await it, but okay. That's all it was. Okay. And then I need to get the value out of here, but let's see. Why is this?
Oh, this is that nullability thing.
Oh yeah, because I'm using nullable, and there's a first or default, so we'll just use the value. That's fine. Okay, so this is our outbound text, which just calls notify, which that seems to be okay. So we're gonna go get the group, and we can always pick up other. We could always go pick up other tags off of the thing if we wanted to. So I guess
Make it run. Come on, man.
Well,
I'm dying here. Come on.
I know. All right.
Stop writing code.
Well, we haven't really built a very good test harness, so I'm not.
No. It's a no for me. Maybe next time.
It's time to go delete some things.
Who needs testing when you can test in production, right?
That's right. Let's just hope it doesn't delete itself, because that's a real possibility. So, let's do a .NET build first and see why it isn't building, because there's something broken in here.
Somebody broke something.
Who
did?
Oh, I left a semicolon out somewhere. Easy enough.
Welcome to our TED Talk about yak saving. Yeah, we're all about yak saving. You're absolutely right. You don't know what dev advocacy is all about?
That is dev advocacy in a nutshell.
Exactly. This is why I'm sitting here cracking up.
They call themselves avocados or whatever, but in reality, we're all just a bunch of yak shavers.
Yeah, man, come on. That was below the belt.
Yeah, that was a little mean.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're done in 15 minutes after that.
Exactly. All these hard-earned hours we just spent doing this.
I know. We're poor us, right? Sitting around cutting up with our friends on the internet twice a week. So it could be so much worse. You know what I mean? It is. Okay. So let's see. What's the problem we've got? We actually had an error during run. Let me just do was it func host start?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's do that and see something. It blew up when it was running at runtime. So let's go see why it's not working. I mean, the thing is,
named our show to yak saving with Azure AD.
Could not load as file or assembly extensions, configuration abstractions, version 5. Why would it be version 5?
Did you pull a later package?
That package for user secrets.
5.
It's the user secrets.
Anymore.
It's the user secrets one. Yeah, we're not using it. So let's just. Oh, look at that! Yeah. That's right. You can comment and you can comment rows out in XML, JSON. So.
You hear that, Jason?
Let's get our storage emulator up.
You do know, JP, that you can put comments in YAML, right? I mean, if you really want to go down that route.
Oh God, let's not.
Well, apparently, somebody said the other day that YAML is valid JSON, or JSON is valid YAML. I don't know how that works, but
I can't believe that. I don't believe that.
let's get our user secrets thing out of here because we don't need it here either, and we should be good to build.
Let's see.
Got 14 minutes. We got to hustle, and we're not even sending messages back yet. I'm not complaining though. Today was
Yeah,
a lot
no
of fun.
YAML. There's no YAML to trouble.
Well, we're so close to vacation that I am hanging on by a thread right now. I'm gonna go ahead and be honest.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is
we
probably
need,
why you can't code.
we need to tell people that next week we have no shows. That's a very good shout out, JP.
Yeah, I mean, so wait. Oh my, there's a lot going on. Oh boy, there's a ton going on.
Look at this.
It's tagging stuff. I'm actually quite. I'm a little anxious right now, to be quite honest, because
It's going to eat itself.
again, this is one of the things that we've talked about many times, which is it's running. You'll notice it says we're getting an access token via the CLI, which means it's getting my stuff. It's getting it as me. It's not getting it as a service principal. It's getting it as me, which means it's going through the things that I have access to. Not gonna lie.
There's a lot of stuff.
Now look, we should have gotten 24 text messages. So let's get this Google Voice thing up. I'm going to go ahead and apologize up front because, like I said, this is our. Oh, see, people are already sending me text messages. Hello,
Here it comes.
Hi, D Trouble. Okay. Oh, so there we go. So we have a bunch of messages.
Whoa.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Zoom in so we can see it.
How much did this
That
cost
is
me on
amazing.
Twilio? Now I'm wondering.
It was
You're broke.
probably like sending a text message is like 5% of a penny.
Oh, AZ Wildfire is saying, why are you not using Azure Voice or Teams Voice API?
You know, we always get these homers that come in and ask this question. Now, here's the thing. AZ Wildfire. Yes, I know Azure has the ACS, the communication services stuff, but A, it's brand new. B, we don't. CLW doesn't work for us to go talk about it. And C, I've been a Twilio customer for a long time, and I really, really like the product, like what people do with it. So, I wanted to try it with Twilio first. I mean, Twilio is the gold standard for sending text messages programmatically, right? So I wanted to do Twilio. But the way that we've done this is we can send all sorts of notifications. So
Shots fired, man. AZ Wildfire is coming back. You never have a good answer. And
What?
it's not brand new. It's brand new to you. Damn!
wait, what did he say? It isn't brand new. It's just new to you. Azure Communication
Yeah.
Services? Yeah, it just was announced at Build. Or went out.
It just got announced, yeah.
Azure.
Well, we did say to people that .NET 5 is old news because it released last week. So, I mean, based on that, ACS, it almost feels like last year.
Look,
Hey,
the
in
doc
2020
was
time, that makes sense.
the doc was written sometime in middle of March of this year, right? There you go. 7/20/2020. So I'm just saying it's relatively new. It's certainly relatively new compared to Twilio, and so we wanted to start with Twilio because we have friends there anyway. And we will do one with ACS. We got another one. We want to send email through your Office account, so we want to send email. We talked about doing email with SendGrid. We could also do email with Azure AD and Office 365. So if you want to send this from your own, so that's cool. So the other side of this though is that I also have. Wait, what's he saying now?
Wait, March is the 7th month?
I just saw that.
Yeah, it's base 4. The month started at 4. And then you go
No,
up.
because today is no, today is March 269th.
That's right.
In the year of our Lord in 2020. And
The longest month in history.
the year
It's
of COVID.
265th.
And so
March 265th.
what we call in the old world, what we call July, is actually middle of March.
Post-apocalyptic world, right?
Okay. Anyway.
Oh, somebody says, don't forget you're on the Microsoft channel. We are indeed. But
Who
we
says
are
that?
trying. D-Trouble.
D-Trouble.
Did we say something? Did we say the wrong thing? Did we say something we shouldn't have? Anyway, so that's cool. So hey, it's working. So
It's working.
So you're right. So you wrote essentially 25 seconds of code with us, and it only took 2 hours.
Oh, man.
We had the best time.
Like, how many scrum points would that be? Is it the points for the full 2 hours, or is it the points just for the code that we wrote?
No, it's the full 2 hours. It's got to be the full. I mean, come on.
Yeah. That's awesome.
JP says, AZ Wildfire says, we watch for his beauty, not for his brains.
Let me just say, today is Twilio's birthday as well. This is, I think, Twilio's 12th birthday.
Happy birthday, Twilio.
We appreciate seeing all the things Twilio, even if it only took us 25 seconds to write the code.
Yes.
Oh, man, that's funny. Well, yeah, so how old is Twilio now?
We were trying to figure this out, either 12 or 13, and we kept saying 12 because no one wants to deal with a teenager. So
Says it was founded in 2008, so that's 12.
yeah,
right?
yeah, that'd be 12.
Yeah, 12 years ago.
That's preteen, right?
That's what Wikipedia says, right? So
Well, that's what it said. So
yeah, I mean,
Big
so
Trouble
obviously
said
it's true.
we should do more streams together. I mean, we would love that.
absolutely,
Yeah, we
this
should.
was a lot of fun.
If Club Dubois will have us, then we're more than happy.
So we
Or
got
I got to
two-
get y'all on the 5 p.m. stream where we
Yeah.
drink.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
Well, because I'm going to have a 3-liter carafe, so I'll have plenty to drink. I'll be super absorbent. So,
Like a sponge.
yeah, so just lay on it and drink through osmosis, right? So we have 2 more things that we're going to need your help with, and that is we got to send messages back to say, hey, please don't do this, right?
Yeah.
Please don't cancel. Please don't delete my resource, which we're not deleting them yet, so that's okay. So that's the first thing. The second thing we need to do is we got to figure out a call center thing so that we can have people call the show and talk to us and not be, not, I don't know, not
Yeah,
say,
not be-
at least give us a chance to prevent them from saying awful things or at least bleep them out. Speaking of things
yeah.
being bleeped, you should go and look up a video on YouTube called The Count, like from Sesame Street, censored. All somebody did was add a beep. They just added like the censoring beep whenever he says the word count. So it's absolutely hilarious. So here's the code for this is on GitHub.
Git push. You have done git commit, git push, so people can go and.
I have not yet, but I will.
Yeah, hide your bits first.
Put them away.
She's been exposed all along.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Let's just
I think we're perma-banned from the Microsoft Developer Channel. It's fine.
Yeah,
It was a good run. It was a good stint.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's like, hey, you can pick your friends, you can pick your nose, but you don't pick your friends' noses, right? All right, so we got this. We'll get this code up into GitHub. Let me make absolutely certain. Let's see. Our local settings are in git ignore. So yeah, we're just adding the new code, so that's good. So we'll do a git push. That's actually going to kick off like 20 builds because we've been using that as our build debugger for
yes.
for running MSI builds. So
cool.
Hey, who's next on Microsoft Developer, Christos? Do we know who's coming up after us today?
If you give me 2 seconds, then I will let you know.
All right.
You got me.
I know I kind of caught you off guard on that one. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I've got a planner. And in fact, somebody asked how can they see the upcoming streams and schedule. So we'll work with our team to actually publish them on our public calendar. Which I think we have an ak.ms link, right? Can you
we'll
pick
get all that out
while I say the next one we have Peter the Tender. He's a Microsoft CSA, I think, and he's coming to talk about Azure DevOps with Azure AD. So, secure DevOps and how you can use Azure AD to secure your pipeline and all the goodness. So, Copper Birdie saying, thanks for the fun and the 25 seconds of code.
Hey, you're welcome. We aim to please.
Yeah, thank you.
That's what the 25 and 425 is. If we can get 4 25-second blocks of code out, then we've done our job for the day.
Zulu King says, so much Azure identity. Well, the show is an identity show about more than identity.
Yeah.
So we'll
true.
try to stay true to our word.
All right.
So okay. Well, we've got 5 minutes. We do have some identity code in here. So if you'd like to go take a look at it, you can.
Correct.
We've abstracted away all of the specifics. We've created new token credentials and providers that we can use with the Azure SDK. So that was sort of in an earlier show. So now we're kind of wrapping it up. In fact, we've got some new stuff that we can use to update. To use Azure Arc locally, which has been a lot of fun to work on and a lot of fun to use, and then also to so you have a local MSI, which is running proper managed service identity, just not in Azure. It's running on my local machine. So we got the code out here for that kind of stuff. So it's an identity show about more than identity. We didn't really talk much about identity today, just because we did a lot of the identity work for this one up front. But yeah, we'll be back. Peter DeTender's going to come, and he's going to talk a lot about
Monday. It's on Monday the 30th. So next week, please be aware that we're off. We're taking some time off to recuperate and plan ahead. But we have a .NET Southwest event on the 25th if you want to join us there for some identity fun. And then we have Monday and Friday going back to our normal schedule. By the way, we're probably going to be also doing stuff on MS Learn. So if you guys want to see us more, or if you're sick of us and you don't want to see us anymore, your choice. But we'll be also doing MS Learn stuff and be live there as well once we get that booked. So more on that to follow. But thanks everyone for joining us today. It's been a blast.
It's been a ton of fun. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us.
Man, Corey, you were awesome.
You all are amazing. This was like the pregame for my show later. So
And what time?
wait, we're gonna have more fun.
What time's your show?
What time's your show?
5 p.m. Eastern.
Are you doing anything special?
We're celebrating Twilio's birthday.
Awesome.
So
All right,
we
so
will be celebrating all the things today.
all right, we're gonna go raid. Let's go raid Layla. I mean, if it's Twilio's birthday, we gotta go to Layla.
Yes.
So
Let's
let's go raid Layla. We're gonna raid both channels. so she's gonna have 2 channels worth of people come flying in there. So yeah. So let's go over and see what she's got going on today, and we will see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Oh no, the week after.
Or week after. Yeah.
A week after.
Merry Thanksgiving or whatever. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy time zone. Whatever. So, yeah. All right. I guess I'll run our outro video now.
No, that was fun.